yes! Fiddly, electric violin with some overdrive. I'm hearing it. I love this. The Horde themes from the Left 4 Dead 2 soundtrack are some of the most iconic and hair-raising music from the Left 4 Dead 2 soundtrack. And after listening to some of them, I understand now why you really wanted me to check them out. Hello, I'm Lionmight. I'm a composer, music producer, and violinist for over 25 years. And if a professional musician's expertise interests you, you're in the right place. Now on to the music. And this is Left 4 Dead 1's Horde theme. Wow, first off, cinematic epic taikos, love it, especially the wooden clacking. And I'm seeing that they're slowly introducing more synthetic sounds. That sounds very alarming, like an alarm in the area. Watch out, we have enemies. Wow, that definitely was interesting. They're going for an ambient slash atmospheric, ear-piercing but horrific vibe for this one. It's obviously more of a background music slash sound design meant to create a basic emotion of fear and panic. But I doubt it's gonna be something that you will sing along to or put in your feel-good playlist anytime soon. Unless you're like the 0.1% of people who find this kind of ear-piercing music relaxing, then you do you. And here it is, the one you've all been asking for, the Horde theme. This is just called Horde. What does it sound like? Definitely a very intensive drum solo. Oh my god. I wonder how many takes they took with the drummer who played this. But also very interesting contrast with the Horde theme from Left 4 Dead 1, which is more about a bigger ensemble of taiko percussion and some synthetic sounds. So this one is definitely going for a more solo drum set sound. And in some instances, it sounds like a drum corps band or like a cheerleading band. such a clean drum recording and obviously a good sense of tempo for the one who's performing it. Or maybe it's just program MIDI, but it doesn't matter. It sounds great. Oh yeah, it cuts off a little bit. It seems to be somebody compiled this, but it makes sense. I am guessing that each intensity of every Horde battle or every Horde encounter, the intensity changes with the drum pattern that is happening, and maybe some added instruments later on in the other versions, because I see that there's 5 other versions. Okay, that definitely sounded more like a baseline arrangement, something to put stuff or add stuff on top of it. And we shall see in the other versions if I was right. Dead Center Horde theme. Spoopy. Wow, that drum buildup. It started with this definitely chaotic sounding banjo with that frenetic rhythm from the bass drum, but it didn't have much of a rhythmic form because it was pretty much doing this type of machine gun note barrage. Da 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 da. Every attack is pretty much very similar or almost identical, that eventually you get numbed out to it. It becomes some sort of white noise. But then the drums come in, adding this adding a rhythmic form, thus giving the music shape, a different story this time. I see what they're going for here. It's one of the bigger advantages of string instruments. I can see that the banjo is just doing this sort of power chord style of chords, just a repetitive rhythm and ostinato of chords, but slowly going up on a chromatic scale, going through the fretboard, going up, building tension, while that fuzzy bass. Wow, that delicious fuzzy bass mix sounds like this sort of giant mosquito just buzzing around, bzz, 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 entering when it wants to. And of course, the drums adding these chaotic accents to spice things up. Yeah, this is a non-stop wall of banjo twangy rhythmic action full of this insurmountable wall of drums and rhythm. Wow, that was beautifully haunting, and I'm really digging this cheerleading drum corps band rhythm, some sort of bass form, but with just all this indestructible sound of tension and action. It's blood pumping, blood curdling, a total adrenaline rush. Dark Carnival Horde theme, ominous title. That is a very unique combination. This is my first time to hear a frenetic drum ensemble accompanying this sort of synthesized, sort of theremin-like, sort of human whistling sound that is just going everywhere. Like, again, like a mosquito buzzing in your ear. Oh wow, it's playing with the sound signals that kind of sounds like a police siren, an alarm, but then it goes back to sounding human whistling like. It's playing around with your perception of sounds. I like it. There's that fuzzy bass again. I'm definitely seeing what they're going for here. I believe for a musical uniformity, they're using the same recording of the drums and the fuzz bass as a uniform bassline format, a bassline arrangement, and depends on the location in the game, they add or subtract different things in the music. Like for example, in the Carnival theme, they were adding the synthesized whistling thing to make that the unique arrangement for that location. And the Dead Center theme is definitely more banjo heavy. So yes, I'm expecting the same similar thing in the next one, which is Swamp Fever Horde theme. Yes, there it is. So I'm guessing this roar, this undead squeal is like the in-game jingle. Oh, a horde is coming. And then the music starts playing. Yes, fiddly, electric violin with some overdrive. I'm hearing it. I love this. Wow, so many techniques being on display right away. Double stops, that is playing 2 strings at a time on the violin. And then the overtone playing where you're lightly pressing the strings on the left hand so it doesn't make the whole note sound full. So instead of sounding like a full pitch, it's going to sound a bit airy or some sort of a half pitch with a bit more tinny or wispy texture because you're not properly playing it. Another technique is sliding over the fretboard. It's very easy to do that on a violin. So for a guitar, you need kind of a whammy bar or, kind of eventually hurt your fingers doing so many slides because of the frets. But on a violin with a shorter fingerboard, it's easier to do multiple octave slides in a fast pace. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing quadruple or 16th note bowing on the right hand. This is something I would do on a live show if I just want to flex technique. Or, for example, I'm playing with a band. Okay, it's Lionmight's turn to solo. Maybe I'll play a blues lick and then in between I'll insert some sort of frenetic slide just to... It's flashy to watch violinists do that on stage. Now we're getting some real bluegrass playing here. But more on the dissonant side, of course. Octaves. That was perfect. I mean, for that kind of direction, the stylistic direction that they were going for, that is perfect. So I was right. The Left 4 Dead 2 Horde themes each have this baseline instrumentation and arrangement, which is the drums, the tom-toms, the fuzz bass, and of course the screaming at the beginning. But it feels like a story in my head goes like something like they would hire musicians separately, the banjo player in the beginning, the synthesizer or the whistler or theremin player in the second one, and the third one, the fiddler. They were like given separate studio time. Okay, this is your background music, go crazy. Of course, the fiddler did the assignment well. Hard Rain. Right on cue. And now we have a slide guitar. Yes, I love that twanginess of that slide guitar. And you can obviously hear that he's wearing the slide bar on his finger. Fuzz bass right on cue. The guitar is obviously using a variation of drop tuning, so it's easy to make bar chords without having to use other fingers. Just the slide bar will do, and it'll sound triadic, or at least power chord like. Again, another case of they hired a specialist musician, a blues slide guitar player this time, put him in the studio with that bassline Horde music, background music, and just say, go crazy. Slide like crazy. And he did. And now, of course, we have a trumpet player. Yeah, love those running blues style improvs. And it's even reinforcing this mosquito in your ear analogy, or maybe a bee in your ear, because this is kind of reminiscent of Flight of the Bumblebee as performed on the trumpet by Wynton Marsalis, because this kind of evokes the trumpet arrangement of Flight of the Bumblebee. Still very frenetic and adrenaline pumping as expected. The songs I feature are based heavily on your collective voices, so use the comments or the suggestion form in the description. Now here's another video for you to enjoy.